we need to look at the legal facts and the evidence which has surfaced after GIT report. And instead of going into the conspiracy theories and all the stuff that we have seen over the period of time, what are the legal realities on the ground? Legal reality is that the GIT has established through original copy from the British Virgin Land investigators, which clearly reflects that Maryam Nawaz was the real owner, is the real owner of the flats in London. Now, Prime Minister in his 2011 tax return said she was dependent. And in 90s, she wasn't grown up like we can't say that she was independent. And he has already said that she was dependent. That is a clear deviation, and that is going to provide a lethal ground to the Supreme Court. And I think probably the court would not take much time to disqualify. This is one ground. And the second point, my colleague has already referred about the new offshore company. Now we have to see it was functional. Now he's also compared it with Imran Khan. Imran Khan also did not disclose his offshore company.
Yes.
He is now claiming that I had disclosed the assets of the company, but not the company itself. And the company itself, its value is just £9 sterling. Now again, it is going to be the court to decide it, because generally the amount is very small. But again, we have still a limitation about the offshore company of the Prime Minister, because is it still active? What is its financial values? So there are many factors which certainly the court is going to look into. But in a very, very broader picture, we have seen a lot of outcries from the government side pointing flaws, problems with the GIT report. I think government has been
pointing as well as those who actually have compiled it.
The problem is the government is pointing out that there are assumptions and presumptions on the basis of which the conclusions have been drawn. No, the point is, it is the law of evidence, it is the National Accountability Ordinance, which clearly says that once you, particularly I'm referring about law of evidence, that once you admit that you own something, then you will have to prove with what sources of income you have built that property. Prime Minister and his family under National Accountability Law are guilty until they themselves prove that they are innocent. So the burden of proof is on to the Prime Minister and his family to come up with a hard evidence to make it sure that the investigator believe in that these properties were purchased in 2006. That has been the stance of the ruling party. Now the evidence that has clearly emerged that discloses that these were purchased between 1993 and Maryam Nawaz was the real owner. So clearly, I think these things are going against the government.
Another very important, if you remember, before this GIT report was released, a lot of senior ministers, they appeared on television, and they said that, unless and until the former Prime Minister of Qatar, Mr. Thani Hamad, if he is not interviewed, we will not accept it. So he wasn't interviewed, basically.
I think,
so what sort of a...
let's see, the 5 judges of the Supreme Court, with consensus, they rejected the affidavit of Qatari Prince, number 1. And then Qatari Prince, going by the GIT report, they wrote a letter to the Qatari Prince, and the Qatari Prince, according to the GIT report, opted to delay it deliberately. He was given option that he can come to the Pakistan's embassy over there. Now there has to be an independent venue where he can possibly be grilled. No, it's an investigation and interrogation.
Why should he be grilled? I mean, why?
The reason I tell you why, the reason I tell you why, because all he said was that it was on the basis of hearsay. That affidavit is all about on the basis of hearsay that his family, his forefather had a business with the father of the Prime Minister. There was no transaction, there was no proof with which he could have proved that these transactions were made. So I think the money trail was already clearly failed. It is a more political stuff that we have seen from the government side, whereby they want to paint a picture that perhaps it was a deliberate. I think GIT did try, and Qatari Prince, I think he was a very sensible, because he knew had he appeared before GIT, what kind of questions could have been asked, and I think he opted to stay away. And more importantly, it was the responsibility of the ruling family to produce, or at least use its influence on the Qatari Prince
to get the man here,
to be embassy or come over to Pakistan. I think in a broader picture, the evidence is a very damning, it's a very solid. If government thinks that this is a conspiracy, then the conspirators, I think, have managed to come up with a solid evidence